Yogi Jer Sangha, and I'm Yogi Jer. Today we're going to continue our discussion about the 5 powers of Buddha. However, we're going to stick with the first 2, that's the CPR, control of the mind, and presence in reality. And we'll uncover some of the powers that the 5 powers of Buddha actually have in controlling your life and getting what you want. It's easy. Stay tuned, and we'll uncover the secrets here. Hi. All right, now Buddha's quote, "What you think, you become," is kind of the basis of control of the mind. What you think is what you become. So what you want to become, all you have to do is think it, right? It's that simple? Pretty much. It's simple to understand, but now the trick is to do it. Again, controlling the mind is easy to understand, easy to observe your thoughts, not all that easy to modify them. At least if you're trying to do it simply with your conscious mind. I'm going to just touch on this idea of desire. Now, I know Buddhist thought is that desire is one of the causes of our suffering. But without desire, then nothing's going to happen. You have no life, really. So desire is kind of the basis of life. You know, even to get up and walk from here to there requires a desire to get from here to there. Now, the suffering really happens is when you have unfulfilled desires. So let's stop suffering. Let's fulfill some of our desires. For example, do you want good health? Do you want a lot of money? Do you want to have wonderful relationships? Well, if you want good health, you understand what it takes, don't you? Don't we all? Yeah, don't eat that. Make sure you get exercise. Eat more of this, eat more of that. Get more rest. All of those things. Why is it that a lot of times a person just doesn't do that, even though you understand it consciously? Funny, isn't it? Well, that's because the conscious mind is not that powerful. Everything is happening in your unconscious mind, deep down in there. So to make things happen, you have to have control of your mind, your unconscious mind. Yeah. Now, I'm gonna get into that, but I would suggest, if you're interested, to listen to some of Bruce Lipton's YouTube videos. A very powerful explanation of just how powerful our unconscious mind is, where 95% of our existence is created through the unconscious mind, and only 5% in the conscious mind. So we're just kind of skirting around on the surface of what's going on deep down inside. There's ways to communicate with your unconscious mind, however, and those are the keys, those are important things to have a look at. How about finances? You know what it takes to make money, to have money. You get a better job, you make more money, you save some of it, you invest, and so on. And that's where we get into the, you want to be a rich Buddha or a poor Buddha. Neither one is right. One's not right, one's not wrong. It's what you want. Whatever you want, go do it. Get it. Right? I personally think it's not a bad thing to be a rich Buddha. I'd like to at this time do a little plug for this very good book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It's a book that I read when it first came out, and then I just reread recently. And there's a lot of books that I've read. I'm gonna just show you a few of them right now. It works. Tiny little book that was written way long time ago. There's a link in the description here of how you can get the free PDF for this one. How Successful People Think by John Maxwell. Think and Grow Rich. Everybody's heard of this one. Now, here's one of my favorites. The Presence Process by Michael Brown. Extremely good book. Now getting back to the unconscious mind and the controller of things. A lot of times when you're trying to do something consciously, you know, like I'm going to eat better, I'm going to do this and that, sleep better. Your unconscious mind, if it's not in tune with this situation, does not believe it. It's going to veto all your efforts. And you're going to go along wondering why you can't, you feel guilty, you don't like yourself, why can't I do this and that? Well, time to start talking to your unconscious mind. Many ways to talk to your unconscious mind. Basically, you want to reprogram yourself. You've got a programming that's there because of the experiences that you've had, mostly from your first 7 years of life. But if you don't like the way things are going, get inside and change your internal workings, your unconscious mind. Now again, if you look to Bruce Lipton's videos, explain it in great detail, but really ways to tap into your unconscious mind is through hypnosis and through basically repeating what you want many, many times. And there's times when it's more effective, for example, just before you go to bed or just when you're waking up, because you're into the different mental state where your unconscious mind is more receptive to what you're putting in there. And of course the wording that you use is important too. And that's where meditation, of course, comes in, puts you into a different mental state, more receptive. And Yoga Nidra, for example, is one of those things where you go in before the session, you come up with a sankalpa, which is an intention. What do you want to accomplish? Because you're going to be put into a very relaxed, deep, relaxed state. And if you go into it knowing what you want to come out with, reprogramming yourself is what it's all about. And mantras. Mantras are repeating the same thing over and over again and doing it during meditation. There's a reason for this. It's not just to relax you, it's to change you. I would say for the better, because it's your choice. Now there are a lot of mantras that are in Sanskrit, coming from yoga tradition, and the frequency of the vibrations of the sound have a penetrating effect on you. It can alter things, alter you somewhat. But I also believe that if you speak Sanskrit and that's your language, it'll be deeper meaning for you. So I choose to use mantras that I understand in English, right? Because how can I change my subconscious mind using words that I have no understanding of? I just want to get back to the books I just showed you for a second here. The reason I brought them up is that there's a common thread to all of them. And that's the secret to improving yourself, let's say financially, is communicating with your unconscious mind. And if you have a desire for something, repeating that desire. Let's say you desire to be enlightened, so you desire to be a Buddha. That is still a desire, right? But going through the repetition of it, reminding yourself, but also reprogramming your subconscious mind, unconscious mind, requires that repetition. So mantras have power if they're the right wording and done often. And that's where the mala beads come in, used by Buddhists. There's 108 beads on here, and I had this particular one made especially for myself. And so you use the beads and you go through your mantra 108 times. And that's a lot of repetition. Why 108 times? Because repetition is what's required. But why 108? You'll see 108 come up often in Buddhism and Hinduism. But here's the big picture. The average distance between the Earth and the Sun is 108 times the diameter of the Sun. And the average distance between the Earth and the Moon is 108 times the diameter of the Moon. So this 108 number may have some basis in life, may be one of the keys to our being.